As a kid, my dad always said I liked alphabetti spaghetti. That was just him putting words in my mouth. Hello, everybody. I'm a very annoyed Phil, and I'm here simply to have a moan about kids and fucking music and what the fuck was that this year. This video is not going to be monetized, don't worry. I had a little bit of chicken in my mouth then. The wonders of extra food when you don't realise it's there. Anyway, you'll be wondering where it came from. I'm like a pelican. It just I just protect it. I collect it and then just regurgitate it back in my mouth when I need a fish. Is that what they do? I don't know. I watched one eat a pigeon once. That was crazy. Welcome to the video. It's got nothing to do. I want to fucking moan. I want to moan about fucking this year's Glastonbury and music in general. And I'll tell you why. So Glastonbury's been and gone this week. I was looking in the distance. That's where Glastonbury is in the distance, going, fuck you. And I'm going, fuck you back, Glastonbury. You were shit. Okay, so I'm a bit of a music snob. I'm not going to lie to you. I like music, okay? Not what the fuck was that came out today, this weekend. It was awful. Headline acts, terrible. Music in general, awful. One thing I will say, today's singers can't sing. They can sing on a record, and they're recording artists. And this is the thing, right? They're recording artists. When I was younger, you had artists that could sing. They were live singers. They see, this is the thing, right? And you guys are older. You guys are probably about my age, so you're going to understand this, right? Bands that came out when we were kids had done the clubs and the pubs and the small venues, and they'd done all that shit. They'd set their equipment up themselves. They'd hauled it upstairs. They'd put it in the back of vans. I was in a band. I know exactly what it's like, right? You learn how to sing because that's the way you sell your records. You didn't have fucking Spotify and YouTube music and all this shit where you could just upload any old shit onto the internet and people would go, oh, he's good because someone made a TikTok of him where they do a little dance. No, right? Music back then was fucking real. They were real bands actually playing real music and singing, which meant as they went on live stages, they knew how to sing live. They also knew how to record. So the voice was good. These kids today singing, and I'm going to sound like an old fogey. These kids today, right? They don't know how to sing live because they didn't start off singing live. What they started off doing, right, was posting on fucking TikTok and YouTube and writing songs and posting them on there. And then people would follow them and then they put them on a stage and they can't project their voice. I noticed a lot of the voices, it was super fucking weak voices, just weak singers. Terrible, just awful. And then you'd have people like Jarvis Cocker from Pulp just fucking schooling them, just absolutely annihilating these kids because they're just better. They've just done it, a million, billion, squadillion times. There was a few that were just okay, but there was a lot that were just fucking awful. And I'm really swearing on this one because it's awful. It was terrible. And it's like, these are really expensive tickets. These are like, the Glastonbury's like it's like the British Woodstock. This is like the festival. 3,000 acts. And they showed us what they reckon was the best. If that was the best acts that we could have possibly seen, then God help the other 2,970 of them, because that was a shower of shit. And I'm sorry, I genuinely was pissed off with it, and it really annoyed me. Another one, I mean, no offense against the guy. Everyone says he's really nice. That Lewis Capaldi guy. I was sat here, and I was watching him, and it was like, what the hell am I watching? What is this guy watching? And someone I was speaking to the other day was like, oh, leave him alone. He's got problems. What, can you imagine back in the 60s? And they went, oh, who's that guy? He's Elvis Presley. He's really good. Oh, he's really good. What's he doing? Oh, he's having a problem on the stage. Help him out because he can't sing all his words. What the fuck? When did we come up with what's next? Fucking, here's Wheelie Bill. And it's fucking, and he'll just play the fucking washboard, and then one guy with no arms will play the guitar with his teeth. What the fuck are we doing? We've got the power, the power of Glastonbury. Just a fucking shit. There's the specials version of it. And here come the monks. And then they come out and start singing fucking Rolling Stones song. But, like, I'm not going to do the voice. Don't make me do the voice. I'm getting banned. But it was terrible. It's like, what the... Oh, he's got Tourette's. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Don't be a singer then. If you go, what the fuck? This all started with Gareth Gates back in the day. Oh, isn't he lovely? He's got a face like a baby and he's got a stammer. No! No! Don't be a fucking singer then. Go on, I don't know. If you've got a stammer, I don't know. Go and be the fucking, I don't know, the scat man. Go and sing that Bird is the Word by the B-52s. Go into that one. I could do that really good, couldn't he, with the stammer? No, it's one of those where some of the older acts, you know, it's really hard as well watching music like that, because I watched a lot of bands and I was like, damn, they look old. And then I realised that they were about the same age as me. I was like, fuck, okay. That is scary. And something else I realised, I'm going to mention this because I went to see the Deftones in Crystal Palace, and absolutely amazing. Weezer were on before them. Some other bands. There was a band called High Vis. They were a Liverpudlian band. They were okay. They were fine. They tried. There was a lot of energy in them, but the problem with support bands is they never get the love. They never get the love that they deserve. They always struggle, and they were really trying. They were really trying to pump the groups up, but it just wasn't working. And then there was a band before them called Health. I've never heard of them before. I didn't really see those, but I did see, obviously, Weezer. Staple, been going since what? Freaking hell, like the mid-90s, I reckon, probably, Weezer. About 30 years under their belt, you know, so these guys know what they're doing. They were really good live. You could tell that maybe they hadn't particularly maybe played for a little while. This was possibly their kind of comeback. They were a little bit rusty here and there, but they sounded great. You know, they can produce the hits, and they've made enough songs. Then Deftones came out, and I mean, I've seen a lot of bands in my time, and the list is insane. The list is crazy. I held the world record in my university for seeing the most bands in 1 year. I saw 372 bands in 1 year. I was well chuffed. If I wasn't seeing a gig, I was gigging myself. It was a great time to be alive. But I never got to see Deftones. They were always quite big, even when I was much younger. They were always a much bigger band, and they were kind of the beginning of nu metal. So nu metal was big when I was younger, and you know, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and Korn, and all those bands, Slipknot, I think they kind of snuck in at the nu metal, and then they went their own way. But Deftones were always a big staple. They'd always been there a very long time, and they just sounded amazing. They were absolutely insane. The drums sounded clean, the guitar sounded good. It was all really good. So there you go. I'll put a bit of footage into this video. Little bit of footage in there for you. But one phenomenon, I'm going to show you the video now, and I'm going to ask you what happened. Going on there? Where were they going? I've never seen this before in a gig. So first of all, nobody rushed forward. Whenever I used to be at old gigs, people used to rush the fuck forward. Everyone used to go fucking nuts and just rush forward as soon as a band came on. Deftones came on, people just casually walked up. It was like, oh, Deftones have come on. What the fuck? They're the headline act. Get up there. Get as close to the stage as you can. I mean, I'm an old man now, so I stayed back. You know, I just enjoyed the tunes from a distance. You know what I mean? I'm not as young as I used to be. But back then, I was like, I would have been right up there, and I would have been, yeah, just crazy. But about halfway through, it was about 7 or 8 songs in, and they're walking back. They're leaving, and everyone I was with was like, what the fuck is going on? Why are they all leaving? Everyone was just walking away. It was just leaving. They were just going, as you can see in the footage. And it was during one of my favourite songs, which really pissed me off because I love Minerva. It's one of my favourite tunes. But yeah, there you go. Tell me what you guys think. Am I ranting? Am I just kicking off? I just genuinely don't get this level of music that we settle for today and the way we gig now. And I'm not saying that we gigged any better, but it's like there was no energy. There was just no energy in the crowd. There was nothing there. Everyone just had their phones up. Everyone just had that. And I recorded like 2 or 3 minutes overall for like an hour and a half concert. They constantly had their phones recording, just the whole thing. They saw it through a screen. Dance! They're right there! He's right there. Chino is right on the stage, and you are just going, what the fuck are you doing, you retards? Loses me. Just get lost in the moment. It's music. Music does something to me that nothing else on earth does. Film doesn't do it. Games don't do it. People don't do it. Music does something to me that just blows everything else out of the water. It's friggin' awesome. It's the best feeling ever. And I just didn't get it. And I'm not going to lie, there was a few things in Glastonbury that were okay. They were all right. And I thought, okay, this isn't too bad. Headliners were terrible. What was the headline acts? Who picked them? They were shocking. I was really shocked, and I was really surprised at just how bad it was. It was honestly like it was about bad fucking karaoke in most cases. It was terrible. And then I realised, like, because these kids have been able to sit in a room and just go, I danced around my mother's tits. And they'd sing like that, so soft. And then when they're on a stage, they've got to portray that. And they're like, oh, blah, 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 and they just can't project it properly and make the sound right. So they kind of go, oh, and then the poor sound guy's got to fucking turn it up to 900 just to get the sound out. Terrible. Absolutely fucking god-awful. And yeah, they just don't have, because they've created such a unique voice, so they get noticed amongst the shit that is music today. When it comes to translating it to a live crowd, they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to project it out. And and you could see the contrast between the new stuff and the old stuff. Excuse me, a little bit of windy pops there. It was just so different. It was hugely different because there was the kids, then they were just so lost. And then there was the old hats, as it were, like Pulp and Foo Fighters, you know, and just, you know, people that had been there for a long time, had done it for a long time. They just schooled them. They just made them look like total cunts because they were just great. They sounded good. They still sounded really strong. They were able to project their voice. And these guys are knocking on 50, some of them, 60, 70, and they're just knocking tunes out. Neil Young sounded great. He was an interesting headline act. I don't particularly know why they picked him, but I'm not going to lie to you. He sounded way better than that fucking Olivia, whatever her name was. She was terrible. Absolutely awful. She sounded like someone, like cats fucking. Was terrible. But anyway, that's my rant on this video, guys. I thought I'd have a moan about it because it pissed me off. If you have any light to shed on why the kids decided to evacuate the place the second half the show was done, the only thing I can imagine is Cherry Waves finished and played, and that's the one that everybody recognises from TikTok. So I imagined all the youngsters went, "Done it now, send the song," and then wanted to leave so they could go home and, you know, wank over, I don't know, whoever, fucking some bitch that's on YouTube and has her tits out. Who knows? But well, guys, this is quite a hateful video today, but I don't give a shit. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. But until then, have a really good week. Have an eventful week. And if you have been to any gigs or concerts recently and you wanted to share some stories of how shit people are, please do. I do enjoy them. But I still love you guys. I think you're the best. We've managed to bring all the best together. We'll all get on a rocket and escape this fuckhole and blast the rest of the planet into the sun. There you go. That should fuel it for the next 4,000 millenniums. Thanks, guys. There's enough hot air in them, isn't there? Guys, thank you very much for that video. You haven't done it. I've done it. Fuck off. And I shall see you in the next one. But until then, stay sexy, stay soapy, stay saucy. And remember one very important thing. I'm watching you, and I've only got one hand showing. So where's the other one? Think on. Goodbye.